When Game Freak made Gold and Silver, they were pretty much like, okay, well let's take everything great about our first generation and make it even better. I mean shit, I don't believe that whole this is gonna be the last Pokemon game ever story one bit. Game Freak knew they struck gold the minute they released Pokemon out of the country. The only thing they should have been unsure about is, just how long will this last? Well, try 25 long years. Jesus! If Pokemon was a human, they'd have to start thinking about getting on their own health insurance plan right now. Well, I mean, if they're a US citizen, I mean. Okay, enough of that. Let's just get this intro out of the way. Pokemon Gold and Silver came to America on October 15th in the year 2000, and it brought along an epidemic that will continue to this day. I honestly remember playing my version of Pokemon Red way more than my version of Gold, yet everyone seems to say that the second generation of Pokemon was the very best. You, see what I did there? This random website, CBR.com, has it ranked second best, just behind Pokemon X and Y. Yeah, I don't really know about that one. Another website, DigitalTrends.com, has Gold and Silver right on top of the list. And NintendoEnthusiast.com had a poll saying Gen 2 beat out Gen 4 by 48 votes. I could just keep on looking, but, you know, they say 3's a pattern. So I guess I want to learn my lesson from making a video about my playthrough of Pokemon Red, and, you know, it was just way too long, and honestly, not that interesting, and just asked a question. Was Pokemon Gold and Silver really that good? Okay, for this video I decided to do a playthrough of Pokemon Gold, and try to look at this game as if I was 8 years old again and playing it for the first time ever. Which I'm sure went something like this.
Oh my god, it's in color!
In the new Pokeworld region, Johto, we've got new Pokemon, a radio feature, and along with the color, shinies. Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal really revamped what Pokemon is meant to be. Just a relaxing RPG where your monsters are better than anybody else's, and if they don't like it, they can take it up with my boy Feraligatr here. Some people might say, well, it's the same game as Red and Blue, and that's where you're wrong. First of all, the game's in color, duh. There's a night and day cycle that goes along with real time. Rap is not broken. You can attack on the same turn you wake up in. The concept of breeding was introduced along with baby Pokemon, and some Pokemon only evolve once you max out their happiness, or if it's night or day. There's a lot of little things like this that makes Gold and Silver superior to Gen 1, and that comes from a super biased Gen 1 or 90s kid. But seriously, sitting down and playing this game for the first time in many years, I kind of discovered a long lost interest in the series. I ended up falling in love with a Pokemon that I always considered to be worthless. And I didn't feel too irritated when having to explore every nook and cranny of the region, except when having to find those damn dogs. And now that I brought that up, what the hell is up with those damn legendary dogs though? Seriously, I spent 90 hours playing this game, I never once saw them. Not randomly while playing them through the story, especially not when I spent hours looking through them through the grass with max repels after completing the story. I gave up. But you know, I do plan on doing a Pokemon Crystal playthrough pretty soon. If I don't get them all then, that's when you can give me shit. Okay, moving on. I just want to say this. I enjoy the grind in Pokemon, but in moderation. This is pretty much a Pokemon game in which you have to grind a lot. I didn't have a full team of 6 until just about the very end when I went to face Red. And there's just so little experience to go around, and honestly all the cool Pokemon don't appear until after the Elite Four. So I was hesitant to even fill out my team on the Johto side. For instance, when I thought I needed a fire Pokemon at Mahogany Town, I looked around at my options since I didn't pick up a Cyndaquil as my starter, and let's see. Okay, Magmar. Magmar is the only fire Pokemon readily available to me at this time, unless I go searching for Entei for 1,000,000 hours and then use my Master Ball on it. What the fuck, Game Freak? You go and offer us all these cool new Pokemon just to be like, well, they can collect them during the post-game. What the hell is Hondor doing in Kanto? I just played Red. I didn't see no Hondor there on Kanto Route 7. Give us the new Pokemon during the actual game. Yeah, sorry. But that's definitely on my cons list. Also, I know just everybody loves how you can go to Kanto and face all the gym leaders again. But to me, it just never felt like a step up. None of the trainers or the gym leaders really give you a run for your money. It seems like just another grind to get access to Mount Silver, which I only really wanted to get to so I can get a Lavatar. And speaking about grinding, because of how weak all these trainers and gym leaders are, you're gonna have to do a butt ton of grinding just to get ready to fight Red. I think I had to become Pokemon champion another 20 times before I felt like my team was even somewhat ready to take on Red. And there's definitely a few, storylines. I don't know if that's the right word. Sure, you know, let's call the Dragon Test a storyline just to make this point. It doesn't seem necessary at all. You beat Claire, she cries, you need to go surf and use Whirlpool once and then you're done. Yippee! What's the point? So you can get maybe a Dratini? Or just an excuse to have to use Whirlpool? And the same with the whole power plant thing. Having to go fix the power plant just seems like something Game Freak was like, well, they're gonna need to do something in the Kanto postgame, and we can't just send Team Rocket on them again, can we? Or can we? A lot of people bring up the HM issue when playing the older games, and you know, I never really saw it as an issue until I played this game again. I never thought in a million years that a shiny Gyarados would have to be my HM slave. You know, all the original HMs I can deal with, but now there's 3. That's right, 3 water-type HMs. And how many times do you need to use Whirlpool? I could be wrong, but I'm thinking like a whopping number of 2. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually need to use Waterfall maybe 3 or 4 times. So, I'm really sorry, Red Gyarados. You weren't really on the agenda to be an actual team player this time around. And you did your job showing us what a shiny Pokemon is. I get it. I'm nitpicking, but I think that's the end of that rant. Okay, now, there's this guy. To you, he may be silver, gold, buttface, dicklick, whatever you want to call your rivals. To me, he's Billy. The name of my old bully from the 90s who would spank my butt and Pokemon on the bus all the time. So congrats, Billy. I hope being passive-aggressively mentioned in a YouTube video isn't the only achievement you've received since the last time I saw you. Anyways, your rival in this game has an actual story arc, and it's just really refreshing. Gary in the first generation didn't really learn anything until we beat him as the champion at the end. Billy in this game goes off in the beginning by stealing Pokemon. He's also pretty mean, and then goes on about how he wants to be the strongest, how he's superior to you, and then he cries about how his Pokemon just can't beat yours. Seems like every time you run into him, though, he begins to realize the truth of what's important. Raising Pokemon to battle demands love and compassion. And we know that this is what he realized in the end because the last time we battled him, his Golbat evolved into a Crobat, whose happiness needs to be high enough in order to do so. And I really love how Game Freak implemented this feature. If you're nice towards your Pokemon, you know, by using them in important battles, and not letting them faint, raising their stats with vitamins like Carbos and Iron, grooming them, or giving them a haircut, and just walking around with them in your party affects your Pokemon's happiness positively. Along with the fact that all the baby Pokemon like Togepi, Pichu, Cleffa, and Igglybuff, and also Chansey and Golbat evolve this way, there's also the TM27, Return. Now at first glance this move may not seem like much, but after you max out your Pokemon's happiness, Return's base power is 102. Compare that with, let's say, Body Slam, which has a base power of 85. Oh yeah, you may be rethinking that strategy now, huh? So let's put the last couple of things down in the pros column, along with all those new features I mentioned in the beginning, but just didn't seem worth getting into. You can compare the good and the bad a million times over against Pokemon Gold and Silver, and the facts will always stay the same. Is the second generation of Pokemon perfect? Hell no! But the question was, is Pokemon Gold and Silver really as good as people claimed them to be? And simply put, yes. Yes, they are. They're very much a breath of fresh air compared to the games that we've been given over the last few years.